The kind of last thing that I do want to talk about is it kind of goes hand in hand here, and that's this article we put out recently, or that I kind of wrote up called APR is Dead, just basically talking about this concept of what do people actually want in the crypto space? Do they actually want an APR? Do they actually want some return? And I think that the answer is kind of no. I think everybody would universally disagree with me on that subject, but if you look at the numbers, I think that the number one thing that people want in our space is security. They don't want to risk funds. They don't want to risk loss. They don't want to risk exposure to something that they don't know, or that the space doesn't know or have the ability to explain properly, such as impermanent loss. They want to be able to be to work in a space with known risks, where they can kind of mitigate those themselves and continue to build off of. And I think that's been a real focus of how we operate. It goes back to that Solana attack we've seen with likely GitHub involved. It goes right back to bridge attacks and kind of how those things operate. And I think that people are not as focused today on immediate short-term gains as they are on how can I continue to operate in this space, participate in a blockchain or a DeFi system or something, earn some kind of return, but not be subjected to these unknown risks. And so that kind of comes down to a big piece of what we've been saying here a lot. And you've all seen this as, not your keys, not your crypto. But if you go back far enough into the space, the kind of concept there was be your own bank, right? And the be your own bank space really does mean that you should have your own keys, yes, but I think that you should also be very mindful of who has access to those keys. If you're providing access to a smart contract to approve the use of funds, that is providing some amount of access that we should be aware of. At the same time, I would say a savings account probably doesn't exist in our space. Maybe something along the lines of Circle with USDC. I would say that kind of is to some extent a savings account. You could call to some extent like staking is maybe a form of a savings account, but I think that this is something that our space doesn't have today, because with staking you do have to remove those assets from your account to actually stake them, so you no longer have custody of those. So could be considered a savings account, could not. And I think that these are parts of the space that the industry should be more focused on, is how do we keep things as safe and secure as a bank without subjecting people to these unknown risks of wallet attacks or bridge attacks and things like that.